Hello, everybody. It's Monaco here again. In our third podcast, homework for our boot camp unit, I'll be going over some pre-lab requirements, our lab safety and housekeeping requirements, and you'll have your first Google Classroom assignment for homework credit. So at the end of this video, you will, having had your notes, do your Google Forms assignment to demonstrate that you paid attention and listened and understood what some important things about the lab are. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. Lab requirements and how we do labs. First of all, New York State requires that you have 1,200 lab minutes even to sit for the state exam at the end of the year. Okay, so basically if you don't do your labs this year, you probably will not pass this year. Okay, keep that in mind. We are going to average more than one lab per unit and finish with a total higher than 1,200 minutes. We don't stop doing labs when we reach 1,200 minutes because they are required for your overall grades as well. Okay, so if you stop doing labs, I might stop grading your other papers and assignments because in order to learn chemistry, you have to do chemistry, and labs are a very important part of it. We will not do all the labs together as a class. Here and there I'll give you safety demonstrations and tell you what your responsibilities are, but you and your partner will perform a laboratory when you are ready to do so. I'll tell you when the lab begins to be open and when it must be closed, but aside from that, the responsibility is yours. So in order to be ready to do a lab, you'll have watched a pre-lab video, an actual video recording of me showing you what's up and how to do your lab. You will have written your lab info and procedures, so the background information and some of what to do and how to do it, being very careful and discreet. You need to prepare any data tables that are needed. Sometimes it'll be given to you, other times you'll be expected to create this data table yourself. And you'll do that as part of the pre-lab. And you will be checked in with your teacher to ensure understanding. Okay, so each pre-lab will have a podcast similar to this, and probably a Google Forms classroom assignment related to it. Just to demonstrate that you are ready, independent, and willing to go into the science lab and work it yourself. Why do I do it this way, might you ask? Well, when you go to college, and keep in mind this course is getting you ready for college and career, okay? When you go to college and take a science class, everybody has to take at least one that has a lab associated with it in New York State. You are going to be expected to do your pre-lab information, show up to your laboratory class on time, and complete the lab with minimal guidance from your actual instructor. Oftentimes in college lab settings, there's just a junior or senior that's working in the science department there to make sure that everybody does things safely, and they're not really there to help you along the way or show you what to do. So labs in college are very, very independent. So my labs this year are designed to get you to become more independent. Okay, so let's check it out. To be allowed into the lab, you have to have your pre-lab and lab procedures clearly written based on the video you watched. Okay, be discreet. Add extra pieces of paper if you need more space. More is better. Data for the lab must be recorded properly in the format that you created. Like I said, sometimes I'll give you a good data chart. Other times I'll tell you how to create a data chart. And then by the end of the year, hopefully, you will be creating all your own. You'll know how to organize your data yourself without me even telling you what to do. Calculations analysis questions are completed in space provided. Pretty well guided through. Okay, pretty simple, straightforward. What to put, where to put it. You need to show your work. Okay, if you get an answer that's right, but no process how you got that, I don't know if you did this yourself. I don't know if this is genuine, your own work, or if you snagged it from your lab partner and are trying to pass it off on me. Okay, so show your work to earn your grade. A conclusion for each lab should be in complete sentences. No grades will be given if your conclusion is not done completely. Okay, claim, evidence, interpretation. I guide you through on what to do and how to do it in the first few labs of the year. By the end of the year and midpoint of the year, you'll be doing this all yourself when you're writing a full, proper lab report. That CEI model is what I said when I said claim, evidence, interpretation. You need to make an assertion, cite evidence that supports your assertion, and interpret what is going on in the experiment that created that evidence and asserted your claim. It's kind of like you got to take your case to court. Prove to the reader beyond a doubt that you knew what you did, how you did it, and you cited some evidence to support that and what it means. Okay? So, lab safety. Follow the procedures exactly. Don't go creating your own ideas. Chemicals never get mixed without a procedure and are never consumed. Okay? You won't have the opportunity to just mix things randomly, but if the opportunity presents itself, don't do it unless specifically told to. Safety gear, wear at all times, including when you're cleaning up. Okay? Eyeballs are important. I'd like to have you keep them in peak working order. Aprons and gloves will be worn when appropriate. Okay, we have plenty of aprons. And gloves aren't usually needed, but when they're required or you request, they will be made available to you. Horseplay is simply not tolerated. The safety of you and your classmates is the most important to me. You're going to act professionally, like young adults, when you participate in my lab's procedures. And there are simply no exceptions. Zero tolerance when it comes to horseplay. Housekeeping. If you break something, whatever, it happens. Let me know. Don't be a hero. Don't try and cover it up. I don't care if a beaker hits the floor. I do care if a beaker hits the floor and you try and cleaning it up behind my back because you think you're going to get in trouble and you cut yourself. Then you will get in trouble. If you drop a beaker on the floor and it happens, what happens? I'll clean it up. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen. Got plenty more where that comes from. I don't need you getting hurt trying to save face. I won't be mad if it breaks on a legitimate accident. I will be mad if you hurt yourself trying to cover up a legitimate accident. So make the area safe for everyone is the priority. You're not going to hurt yourself, odds are. You might do something that hurts somebody else that you're not paying attention to. So be careful. You leave your lab area better than where you found it. If there were little bits of paper or something around before, clean them up. Okay? Participation is really important here. You're demonstrating your character, and if you leave your space better than when you found it, you most definitely are cut out for studying science at a higher level. Throw waste away where I tell you to. Glassware, rinse it, wipe down your station, move on. Okay? Don't pour things down the drain unless told to. Simple enough. So for your Google Classroom assignment, I want you to complete all the written notes from this video on page 5 in your boot camp pack. Complete the online portion of the homework. Okay, that's the Google Classroom Word, the form document. And come to class prepared to go over pages 6 through 10 in your boot camp packet. Okay, you might give those a shot right now and see, hey, wow, this is pretty simple. I understand what Mr. Monaco expects of me. So, well, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.